Hello, my name is Anna Bragga. I'm one of your 3 Green Party candidates for Stroud Green. I'm standing because after spending over 12 years campaigning for the Green Party, trying to get green policies implemented, I've decided that the best way is to do it at the council level by being a councillor. This is the only way to make green parties a reality for the benefit of the whole community.
I'm Sarah Cope, one of the other Green Party candidates for Stroud Green. I've been involved with the Green Party since 2003. Previous to that, I was working at the BBC. I produced some radio programmes for BBC Radio 4. And I'm standing here in Stroud Green because I think it's important that we get some Greens onto Haringey Council, to get a bit of balance on the council, hold those big parties to account.
Hi, I'm Jane Forbes. I've lived here for over 25 years. I've brought my children up in this area. They were born up at Tollington Park, in fact. And I live just outside the edge of the area now, but always been very, very keen on green politics. Stood in this area for the last 15 years off and on as candidate to the local elections in Stroud Green, so some of you have probably been seeing my leaflets for many years now, probably a bit sick of my face even. I think, to be honest, that we've got the best of it, and the Green Party have got the kind of policies and philosophy that I think are going to be good for everyone. Certainly when we look at voters, what they think, when they look at the different policies without knowing the parties, we know that they actually vote for Green Party policies, and that's what they want. What they want is a party that has social justice at the top of its agenda. We know that inequality in society leads to great dysfunction in society, and that's what we've got in our society. And what we want to see is a lot more equality. So we don't want to see public sector cuts, and we'll talk about that later. We don't want to see privatisation. We don't want to see massive bankers' salaries. We want to ensure good public education, good public health sectors. So that's the kind of background that we're coming from in the Green Party, and so that's why I want to get involved in politics and get involved at the council level now in Haringey.
I'm a Homes for Haringey resident. That's the Almo that is in charge of the housing, the council housing in Haringey. The last few years I've been really battling on my estate to try and get the repairs and the maintenance done that we have paid for but hasn't actually happened. It's really hard to get things done, and when it comes to Homes for Haringey residents, when I've been going around Stroud Green, I've been taking up issues on their behalf. I've gone to the Chief Executive of Homes for Haringey, Paul Bridge, and I've made him aware of all these problems. At the minute, because I'm not a councillor yet, I've not got that much power, but I absolutely pledge to Homes for Haringey residents and to Housing Association residents that I really want to, if I'm elected, really champion you. Take a real interest in whether the things are getting done that should be getting done, how the Decent Homes programme is implemented, because I know that a lot of people are really suffering in terms of being in too small flats, waiting for years and years on the housing list, living in absolutely dreadful temporary accommodation. That's something that we here really want to look at and really want to try and champion.
In terms of Haringey, there's all sorts of issues that we could be looking at. My personal interest, of course, is in the social justice agenda, and I'm very aware of the divorce between the east side and the west side of Haringey, so I think the council really need to ensure that that gets thoroughly addressed in terms of housing and in terms of jobs as well, and so that's where this apprenticeship scheme would come in very handy, I think. Another thing we want to try and introduce is something that's happened in Kirklees under Green councillors, is a borough-wide insulation scheme, whereby houses are given funding for insulation. This, of course, is a great thing for creating jobs. It lowers people's bills, and of course it's good for the environment, which is always a nice win-win situation for us.
One of the issues that I've been very involved in, and that's the issue of blue badges, freedom passes, and more recently the take a break scheme. I think it's an absolute disgrace that more and more people, the sick, the elderly, the disabled, and those who care for them, are not getting the benefits that they're entitled to, whether it's the blue badge, the freedom pass, or the take a break respite scheme for carers. People have been left waiting for months on end while the council loses their application form. It's completely unacceptable that some of you have been made housebound because of the incompetence of the administration system by the council. We want to see a better deal for disabled people, for the elderly, and for carers. We Greens have been contacted a few times by residents in this area saying that they're very concerned about young people hanging around here, especially late at night, and sometimes damaging the play area. I just want to say that I feel very strongly about reducing the fear of youth antisocial behaviour, and I'm very concerned that young people haven't really got enough places to go to. I think this is one of the reasons why they hang around places like this. So what I'm saying is, if you elect me, then what I will do is set up a forum and actually engage with young people. I want to talk to them, find out what their concerns are, what their issues are, and actually find out what sort of facilities they would like. One of our initiatives for Haringey actually is to try and reduce the cost of street parties. We want to see more street parties. That means people having fun and people getting to know each other in the best possible way. That way we can talk to each other, find out what the problems are, and we can build closer ties.
An example of this in Haringey overall has been where the Green Movement has created all sorts of different small communities who are all involved with growing food and using up green spaces to do that. And this is something we certainly want to try and encourage in Stroud Green as well.
So many of you have got in touch with us to complain about the way that our streets are being destroyed, about the way that the visual aspect is being completely ruined, and that we're losing what were once beautiful plane trees. Greens have been active for over the last year in tackling this issue because so many of you got in touch with us to complain. What we decided to do was hold a public meeting to try and discuss these concerns and see what action could be taken. It was well attended in Stroud Green, and what we did was take your concerns to the full council meeting, the next full council meeting, and ask the council, what are you going to do about this? We think that there are better ways of pruning and pollarding trees, and to be honest, we weren't really very happy with the answers we got. The council didn't seem very interested, didn't seem to take your concerns seriously, and we think that we need to get on the council to actually do a proper job and get some changes made to the methods that are being allowed to prune these trees.
Well, I've lived in Stroud Green now for 25 years, in Haringey for about 27 years. Came down from the north and I just love it. I love the multicultural aspect of Stroud Green in particular. All the different kinds of shops, all the different kinds of people that we have here. And also what I think is so fantastic in such in a city type area is that we do have all these lovely green open spaces, fabulous parks, this park, Stationers Park, Finsbury Park, so we're very lucky, the Parkland Walk as well. We used to take my dog a walk along there, so just a fabulous place to live.
I absolutely love Stroud Green, and I'm not just saying that because I want you to elect me, I'm saying it because I've spent the last 15 months going around this ward, going into your homes, being welcomed in, and learning a lot about the history of the area actually, which has been completely fascinating. So I'm a bit of a history buff, I'm afraid. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I bring her to the Stationers Playgroup, and she absolutely loves that, and obviously we use Stationers Park. I think it's a fantastic place, it's got a great community feeling. I think Green councillors could make it even better, of course I do. But in terms of how it feels to be around here, it's a wonderful community, and I just want to be your councillor and serve you better.
Well, I share most of the views of Sarah and Jane here really. I moved here a couple of years ago. And since I've got to know the area and the people, I've decided that this is the place for me. This is where I want to stay. It's got such a fantastic community feel. I've been talking to so many people while I've been out canvassing. I've got involved in several community projects, and I've seen the energy and the drive of people living here who really want to make a difference and make this a more sustainable economy.
We've shown over the last 15 months by taking up those issues on behalf of people, and I personally have taken up over 200 issues on behalf of local people, that really we will deliver for you here. And obviously you've got those 2 elections to vote on May the 6th, and if there's one thing I can say to you is they are 2 separate ball games. We've got the general election, we've got the local election. In the local, that is where we are really asking for your 3 votes for the Green Party. Here in Stroud Green, the strongest Green voting area in the borough, it's really going to be worth voting Green. Thank you very much. If you want to get in touch with us, look on our website. That's haringey.greenparty.org.uk, or email us at haringey@greenparty.org.uk. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much.